Hello class, welcome back. Today we're talking about the constant of proportionality. This is our sixth lesson of Unit 11. At this time, let's review your homework from last night. The first one we have is the gas price activity. Please pause the video while you check over your answers. When you're ready to move on, press play. And here are the solutions for the oranges activity. Please pause the video while you check over your answers. When you're ready to move on, press play. For today's lesson, you're going to need to get out your constant of proportionality note. So at this time, please pause the video while you get out your notes. When you're ready to begin, press play. So a constant proportionality, it's also called a unit rate. It is a ratio of two proportional quantities, which means a ratio of two equal quantities. So remember, constant proportionality is also known as the unit rate. We can identify the constant proportionality by using tables, graphs, and equations. So looking at this table, what is the cost of 1 pen? You have 3 pens. You want to go down to 1 pen. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. So it's $2 per pen. Your constant proportionality is 2 over 1. You can also write the equation as C is equal to $2 times P, and your constant proportionality is 2 over 1. We can also use the graph to determine the constant proportionality. We know that this graph is proportional because it goes through the origin. It's a straight line that goes through the origin. The origin is right here at 0, 0. And we look at it, we find, remember, constant proportionality is also the unit rate, so we look at where 1 is. We go up, and 1 and 4 are in line, and here's where we can plot the point. So your length is 1, your surface area is 4, so our constant proportionality is 4, or you could say 4 over 1. So the equation is surface area is equal to 4 times L. So in an equation, we know that proportional equations contain only multiplication or division, so use the coefficient to identify the constant of proportionality. The circumference of a circle is proportional to its diameter. The formula is circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Now, I want you to remember coefficient is equal to the constant of proportionality. Well, what is coefficient? If you remember back in our previous unit, coefficient is the number that's in front of the variable. So in this case, we have the formula circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Well, if you remember, circumference is about 3.14 times diameter. So what's our coefficient here? Our coefficient is 3.14, so that is our constant of proportionality. You could say 3.14 or 3.14 over 1. So our coefficient is always our constant of proportionality. So whenever you're looking at an equation, look at the coefficient, and that's your constant of proportionality. So example 2, the amount of sales tax paid on an item is proportional to the cost of the item, which means that for every $1 you spend, or whatever the amount is, you're always going to pay a sales tax rate of 7%. So if the sales tax rate is 7%, then the amount of sales tax is 0.07 times the cost of the item. Here's the equation. T is equal to 0.07 times the cost. So what is the constant proportionality? Well, if you remember back to what I just told you, it's always the coefficient. So what's our coefficient? It's the number in front of the variable. So our constant of proportionality is 0.07, or you could say 0.07 over 1. At this time, please turn to your constant proportionality practice page. Now at this time, I would like for you to practice these 8 problems on your own. Remember, you're having to find the constant proportionality, which is also called the unit rate. So for these problems here, you're going to have to find the unit rate for them. Remember, you have to bring it down to 1. And whatever the unit rate is, that is your constant of proportionality. Also remember that in an equation, your constant of proportionality will always be your coefficient. So please, at this time, pause the video, complete these 8 problems on your own, and when you're ready to check your answer, press play. Number 1. The perimeter of a square increases as the lengths of the sides increase. The equation is P equals 4S. Can be used to determine the perimeter of any square. What is the constant proportionality for this proportional relationship? Remember, in an equation, you always look at the coefficient. The coefficient here is 4, so your constant of proportionality is 4. Number 2, the circumference of a circle is proportional to the length of the diameter. Use the formula C is equal to pi times diameter to identify the constant of proportionality. Again, you look at the coefficient. The coefficient here is pi, so you can write pi or 3.14. Number 3, candy bars cost $1.25 each. The expression is 1.25 C. Represents the total cost of C candy bars. What is the constant? So the constant of proportionality here is the coefficient, which is 1.25. Number 4, the grocery store charges $1 for 4 plums. What's the price per plum? So here you have to find the unit rate. You have $1 divided by 4. So each plum is going to cost 25 cents. So 0.25 is equal to your constant of proportionality. Number 5, a dragonfly travels 50 meters in 2 seconds. What's the speed that a dragonfly travels? You have to find the unit rate. 50 divided by 2 will give you 25 meters per second, so your constant of proportionality is 25 over 1, or 25. Number 6, using the table, generate an equation and find the constant of proportionality. So here we have to take it down to 1 mile. So 1 mile is equal to 5 minutes. So you have your constant of proportionality is 5 over 1. And to do this, time is equal to 5 times d. So your constant of proportionality is 5. Number 7, sales tax in North Carolina is 6.75%. The higher the total, the more the tax will be. Does sales tax and total cost represent a proportional relationship? The answer is yes. So for every amount that you spend, you're going to multiply it by 6.75%. So it does show a proportional relationship. Number 8, to babysit, you charge $15 for the first hour and then $7 for each hour after that. You worked a total of 4 hours today and charged $36. Does the babysitting fee in hours represent a proportional relationship? The answer is no, because it does not increase at the same rate every hour. Because the first hour is $15 and then each hour after that is $7. So a proportional relationship is where for each hour you're going to increase by the same amount. So here in this case the answer is no. For homework tonight, I would like for you to complete the hot dog eating contest, the 5 problems. Remember, proportional relationship shows on the graph. It is proportional when the graph goes through the origin, and it is a straight line, so don't forget that. All right, good luck, and I hope you have a great day.